What's up, everybody? I'm waiting on Christine to get on here. I'm gonna go live. Hey, 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 hey. Speaking of, got this new hat yesterday. Love it. There she is. Let me fix my camera. I had to turn my ring light off. It was like making my face look like I was an actual sun. So it was so bright that I couldn't even see my face. It was just like light. My eyes.
Oh, it's funny.
It was really weird.
Well,
anyway, what's up?
not much, you know,
Yeah, just chilling.
chilling.
Me too. Yeah, I know we had talked about maybe starting to go live together sometimes. Just kind of tag team this a little bit. Just to, I guess to just give like different perspectives on similar topics and things like that. So with that being said, I guess we should just dive right in. Resources. I didn't name the video. I saw that. So the next time, I'm learning every time that I or we do this, like you can name the video.
Right.
Give it like a title so that it pops up and like people can be like, yeah, I want to watch that or not.
Right.
Or maybe it's better to not have a title. That way people will just like pop on and that they don't know what they're getting themselves into. Boom, we're just on here dropping knowledge on people.
I mean, one thing is guaranteed, it's truth.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
All right.
Truth. So let's jump into it. So we both decided we actually talked about this before we did this, so whatever. But we wanted to talk about resources, the new resources in our life that we now have access to.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Like life.
Really like
revolutionary.
Literally, and I think that throughout my life, definitely I've used that term loosely. Like, oh, this is life changing. Like, okay, how much shit that you've been into has actually changed your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I can probably only count a couple things, you know, because I've gone through my own struggles in terms, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone through like certain health struggles. So like certain, I guess, like switches, like for example, my diet have been life changing.
There you go.
I had to like a conscious decision to be like, okay, I'm going to change what I'm doing so that I can, get certain results. So I wasn't feeling well. But other than that, especially when it comes to like success, though, I would say it's been more of like a struggle to like actually like be like, oh no, this shit works. Can we swear?
Right. Yeah, of course we can. Yeah, of course. I think that, yeah, no, you're right 100%. Like, there's so many life-changing things out here in the world. I mean, everybody promotes their product as life-changing.
Right. Everyone has the answers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What does Kevin call them? The self-help gurus or something?
Right. That like teach you theory, but what do they have to show for it?
Right. They have life-changing information that has not changed their life. Sit on that for a second and think about it. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
Well, they're just, and then they're just like really good salesmen, right? Because it's like they're teaching you theory and, really good at marketing you so that you can buy their product. But it's like they're making the money from their product, not from, you know what I mean? It's not like they're like teaching you their actual process that they've done in order to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fully just like theory. So what does that say?
Yeah. So they have no proven results really for anything that they're teaching.
Right.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, that's funny. Actually, that is actually really funny to think about. Selling people things that you don't even know if it works or not, but claiming that it works. They locked Kevin up for that, even though he was preaching truth. They don't like when people tell the truth.
No, are you kidding?
The truth scares the system.
Yeah,
And
because it threatens the system, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure does. But anyway, let's jump into it. So resources resources we now have access to. So tell me, so what's obviously we're both using the resources, but I'll let you start and you can pick whichever one you want to talk about right now, and let's talk about it. Which resource that we have recently come into do you feel like has brought
Yeah.
the most into your life in this short amount of time?
All right. Number one,
Okay.
TechnoTutor.
TechnoTutor. Okay.
TechnoTutor.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us.
TechnoTutor. My gosh. So TechnoTutor is this basically just a software that reignites someone's natural learning ability. And I just read recently that there's like a myth that everyone learns differently, which is not actually true.
Hmm.
And I didn't actually like look into this like further, but my understanding of that is really when you look at like kids like growing up, it's like we're just being with the way that we learn is by really like watching and observing our environment, right? So like watching our parents and like listening to them talk and like seeing people communicate, right?
Hmm.
So in that sense, it's like we're constantly being imprinted with like pictures, right? So and that's pretty much what TechnoTutor does in the sense that like it's a software that is designed to increase your vocabulary with, and then the method that it uses is to reignite your natural learning ability by like imprinting those like whatever you're looking at, so whether it's going to flash letters, numbers, words, and then actually like rebuild neural pathways so that you actually like know and understand vocabulary, which then and then vocabulary is like the foundational tool of pretty much anything, like communication, language, thoughts, how you express yourself. And really, if you're going to learn anything else, whether you want to like be good at math, whether you want to be good at science, you know what I mean? Like everything has a foundational like vocabulary.
Right.
So once you have that foundation set up for you, which most of us like from a young age, like we don't even start learning how to read properly until we're like in like what, grade 1 sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
And
my mom, like I've told you, we've had this conversation. My mom's a kindergarten teacher. So I was able to go right to the source and kind of get some information from her. She said that some kids are able to process and learn and begin to read by the end of kindergarten, which is usually between ages 5 and 6. But she also said there's a direct correlation to their ability to learn and process information. There's a direct correlation to their support and their home life.
right, yeah,
Because of what you
which makes
said, you observe and you learn from the people around you. So if your home life is not properly supporting you, then you're going to learn,
well
you
basically
know.
just from school, right? And the thing is, it's like if your parents like not to blame parents, but like if your parents are busy like having to go to work, like who really has the time and effort to like sit down with their kid and be like, I want to make sure you learn how to read. Like most people just like give up that responsibility and like just leave it up to the school and the teachers,
Right.
which which is just hilarious though, because and why TechnoTutor is so cool is because if you want to be an effective student, like by the time you get to like post-secondary school, like university, college or whatever, like
Right.
you should already know how to process information and learn. But I don't know about you, like by the time I got to like university, it was like I knew how to like I'm not like I wasn't stupid, but like it's like I knew how to like get by in terms of like, okay, I needed to study and like read information and then be able to memorize it and regurgitate it basically on a test. But it's like how much of that information do I actually like remember, you know what I mean, and like can actually like very clearly um explain to people even now. It's like the things that I do remember are things that I repeated like a million times. So it's like it's through that repetition that it's like embedded within me.
Right.
Whereas like now with TechnoTutor, it literally through the through the program, it's like it literally just embeds it right into you,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
And to touch on what you talked about earlier, the natural learning ability, that's
Yeah,
at its highest. It's at its peak, right? Between ages 1 and 7.
right.
So like you said, from the observing and from the early years of elementary education, which education, the whole education system is its own topic of concern that we could address at some point. But TechnoTutor, it reopens the natural learning ability for people, right? Which is more or less closed off after the age of 7, right? So everything that you've been programmed with, this is wild. This was wild to me when Mitch and them explained it to me, that most people, not all people, most people get programmed between the ages of 1 to 7, right? And it's, by the way, it's programmed into their unconscious mind, not the conscious mind that you're aware of. It's programmed to the unconscious mind. So these people that have, and myself included, by the way, I don't speak like I have it all figured out. Myself included, I'm in the process of right now rewriting these programs and neural pathways. But people get programmed with these, just really the way that life works, ideas, thoughts, patterns, programs, all these things from ages 1 to 7, and they spend the rest of their life, not just the next like few years, right? They spend the next rest of their life unconsciously running these programs over and over and over 24/7, 365. So what TechnoTutor does is it goes into the root. I had it put to me in a great way that you can sit and read and do your affirmations and, you know, look in the mirror and tell yourself how great you are, but that's on a conscious level. You're not even touching. It's like if you have a computer right here and you have a program downloaded to the computer onto the hard drive, taking the desktop shortcut off is not taking the program out of the computer.
Right,
That's kind of
right.
how I see it as reading. Like you can sit and read all these books and you can study all these people and listen to all these audio tapes, but if it's not getting to the root cause, and that's why nothing ever changes.
Especially like, yeah, like on a
If you
unconscious.
want to change, if you want to change the programs that are already written deeply inside of you, you have to start at the source.
Yeah,
And that's what TechnoTutor does. It gets right to the core, right to the source, rewrites those patterns and programs from the inside out.
right.
Very
Yeah, no,
cool.
that basically summarized it really good. And like I kind of forgot about that part, like just like getting to the root cause, like not the root cause, but even just like to the root core of like where your programming happens. It's like, yeah, if you're like if you're, you know, later on in your life trying to rewrite what you've learned from such a young age, and then the thing is, it's like you don't even realize, like for example, like we're what 20, like I'm 28, you're 20, you know what I mean, like we're now at this point being like, oh, now like we really need to change our neural pathways, and it's like we've had all those years from when we were 7 years old like embedded on top of those neural pathways that have just been like continuing to, you know, embed those poor neural pathways like even further.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now it's like, okay, like if like you said, if you want to change and if you're someone that like, you know, just like success is like the easiest example, but if you're like trying to tell yourself like I'm the best, or like I'm successful, I want to be a millionaire, all that kind of stuff, it's like, well, if you've been taught your whole life like money is just easy to like relate to, but like that, you know, you live in lack and like you're poor and that you have this idea that you're broke, and like literally you've been thinking like that for yourself for 20 plus years, like telling yourself affirmations isn't gonna like isn't really gonna actually make you core at a core level believe that you are those things.
Yeah.
So this is what TechnoTutor like does. It gets to that source of like the programming, so then you can literally rewrite it so that you do believe those things.
Right. There you go. It's 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 simple. It's not easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but the idea of it is simple. You know, it's simple. And just
Yeah.
to touch on something else you brought up the importance of vocabulary. I know I can speak from personal experience for the last 2 months that I've been using TechnoTutor. You really think you understand what words mean, but you really, chances are you really don't. You really don't.
Right.
Because the programming, just the way that we've been taught and raised and observed and watched, defines our
Association.
vocabulary, the way that we process information.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of an example right now.
Money's just the easiest one, honestly, for me to relate to. Like,
Money
you
is
have
easy.
so you think you understand money, but really it's like you have this like negative, like this like emotional attachment to money in like the most negative way possible,
Yeah.
right? It's like money is the root of all evil, or money, people with money are greedy, or like people. Meanwhile, it's like money is such an essential part of living society. Literally runs every system that like we participate in.
Mm.
So, and people, and it's funny because that's one of the first like blocks that people really have to go through, especially when you're trying to like be an entrepreneur, like run a business or something like that. Like you know, you have to understand money on and really rewrite your limiting beliefs that you have around money. But it's like if you like, you know, if you grew up in a home where it's like your parents were like, you know, turn off the lights because, you know, too much electricity, you know, we're going to spend too much on electricity, or like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, don't waste that, or like, why you have the water running. It's like all those memories are literally sitting within you that, you know, you have to be stingy with money, or like you have to hold your I don't know,
Or
be conservative.
think about one that you hear a lot is like money is the root of all evil, right? If that was programmed into you at a young age, I don't care how many fucking self-help books and how many seminars you go to, if your programming at your core is that money is evil, you're going to have a hard time making money.
Right. Yeah.
So to change that and to rewrite that, we have TechnoTutor. We use TechnoTutor, and it's
And it's been
changing
like,
everything. In 2 months of using it, I can already feel the shift within myself taking
oh,
place.
100%. What else
100%.
have you, like, how has your experience been with TechnoTutor?
It's had its ups and downs, I'll be honest. I I've learned a lot about myself, and I've also had to humble myself a lot and understand that, okay, like my programs and my support growing up, and this is like, again, not this has nothing to do with our parents because they were not supported either.
Right,
Do you see what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like they weren't properly supported. So if you weren't properly supported, how can you properly support somebody? And this is a generational thing that's happened for years and years and generation after generation.
Yeah.
So it's our job now that we have these tools. It's our job to implement them and share them with other people so that everybody has a fair chance to rewrite those programs that aren't serving them, aren't benefiting themselves or humanity as a whole.
No, exactly.
Um,
I agree.
but my experience with TechnoTutor has been nothing short of amazing. It's been awesome, and it has been, what word am I looking for? I don't know. It's been awesome. It's been challenging.
Well, you just realize like how much, like, I guess your resistance also comes from your programming as well.
100%.
You know, like it's hard to it's already hard enough to like want to make change, but then when like you really see like where the root source of the problem is, like it's like even more. I find you're just like, God damn it.
You know what? And I think that just we can kind of like shift right here. I think that I don't even think I know that because of the people that we have like been working with in the group, so the self-perfected group, and the awesome people that we've like the community, right? And we've talked about this before, the power of community and why it has such a grand effect on people, but the support around the community, the support from the community pushes you because you're now a part, you and I both, and so many other people. And by the way, if anybody watching is curious about self-perfected, like get with me or Christine, we can talk about it. We'll explain it to you in a better way that you can understand if you don't understand. But that power of community, it really pushes, for me personally, it motivates me to like get on my Facebook and see that there's other people doing the same stuff. They're walking the same path. They are experiencing the same resistances in certain instances. Resistances in certain instances. Poet over here, but
And
it's good. It's really good. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's just I think that the power of community. So talk a little bit about self perfected and what you've gotten out of self perfected so far.
well, just like seeing other people, like, first of all,
Which
it's just
it's another
inspiring to see
resource too. I don't
people.
mean to interrupt, but it's another resource that we're talking about, TechnoTutor, and now we've moved on to the self-perfected group. So go ahead.
Right. Self-perfected group. Well, basically, like the power of a group is also a mastermind, right? And
Mm,
especially with people that have similar like vision, goals, and intentions, it's like that just now amplifies the um, the momentum of something like that happening, or like those goals happening, right? So it's cool to see all these people using these tools, and then also seeing like the people that administrate the group. It's like they've also now, like, I'm looking up to them now because they also have now certain things that I want to be successful in. But it's not in a sense that, like, it's not even in like a materialistic sense anymore, like like, oh, like because of the money, the money that they're making, or like the things that they have. It's like, no, like their vision as well to like now foundationally make a change in this world, and like provide people with tools that actually is going to help hum- humanity, and like
mm,
actually make change that in a way that's best for all life. Like that just like is so inspiring within itself. And then just to see how these tools are so integral to make that foundational change happen,
mm-hmm.
right? Like it's just so inspiring. And that's why like I like the group, and I want more people to like be aware of this. It's like there's actually people working to make real change, because like especially with what's going on in the world right now, like the system is really show like this all the systems that we're living in right now are really showing like where they're so flawed,
Mm,
whether it be medical system, the education system, political system. Like everything is just like kind of like falling apart, but at the same time it's like really it's not serving people, right? And especially like a majority of people, and it's like it's almost like ruining people, honestly. And like, and so it's just cool to like be a part of a group, and like be a part of people that are sharing something that actually is making real change, that I've even now using these tools like I've seen within myself, and I now want to be a part of. I want to share it with people to be like, okay, if we want to make real change, like this is the quickest way possible to do it, and
right.
like you know and we can do it.
Yeah, and I think to touch on that as well is like just so everybody watching and that's going to watch this is aware, this is not like some like leisure like fuck around group where everybody's just posting a bunch of bullshit. I mean, this is a group of quality people talking about real shit with a real vision on where we're going. And I said it in my last live video, we're going and we're going in a hurry. And the
Right.
group is
Yeah.
growing, the group is expanding, and it's a great time. It's a great time to get involved. I mean, I think when I look at the group, one of the things that stands out to me the most, you touched on everything, the community, the vision, the support, all of that. But one thing that I've noticed, and this is with everybody, not just the administrators, everybody in the group that I've personally spoke with, and I'm sure that you could say the same, and I'm sure everybody else in the group would say the same. There is absolutely no hesitance from anybody when it comes to helping each other. There's no
Right.
hesitance. There's no selfishness. There's no like, oh shit, like I got this new audio book. It's so good. I'm just gonna hold on to it for a minute before I share it with everybody else. That way they don't get a leg up on me. There's none of that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
none of that stupid shit that you get in a lot of these groups and a lot of these ego based systems that you're offered to join, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram,
Well, it's
wherever
just
it
no,
is.
right? It's not a competition. It's like, no, we're on the same team, and we're all trying to move together, versus like, oh, this person's getting ahead.
And we can only go together.
Exactly. Like we're here on this earth together.
I think there's a quote. It says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together."
Yeah, yeah. I posted that
And
on my.
was it you posted it? Yeah. So that's literally that's like the group in a nutshell. If you want to go fast and try to figure it out on your own, then do it. Go alone. But if you want real community, real guidance, real friendship, I mean, I'm friends with these people. This is not just
Yeah.
like a like I've said, it's not like a, you all don't know who any of these people are. It's like these are real people implementing real change, and they're living examples of it. They're not just talking about it, they're fucking out here doing it.
Right.
And that's it.
Should we touch
The
on
touch on what?
the principles?
If you want to.
Well, no, I just like that's kind of also what keeps the integrity of the group together. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like the fact that so there's like a set of principles. I mean, I think there's like 13 of them or something,
Yeah,
but
13.
it's like the main one is like, acting in a way that's best for all, right?
Right.
And I think that's just like what's so important. Like it's just having those principles completely just takes away all like any like emotion or feeling like behind anything, which is I feel like why we're such like a team oriented group. So it's like no, like we are all in this together. No one's trying to like
Not out of
I don't know.
self-interest.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all in this to make the world a better place.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. And that's what we're doing. And that's what I think that's probably the main reason we wanted to hop on here, is just to like share these resources with everybody. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook, but growing my page and you're growing your page as well. And because you and I both have began adopting this mindset of doing what is best for all and living out these principles actively in our own life, it makes it our responsibility, not just something we want to do. It's literally our responsibility to share this with people. It's our responsibility to reach out and be the change and
Yeah.
and go up against whatever we have to go up against to see that through. So there's two things, TechnoTutor and the self-perfect. Seriously, if you're watching this right now, the self-perfected group is the shit. It is the shit. I promise. Like,
It is.
it's
It will
dope,
hurt.
and I can't even heart because I think this is my live, so it won't let me. But I'm sending my hearts right now too. I literally thought I
um,
just wrote on my new hat,
I'm crying.
and I'm glad I didn't.
Um, Yeah, no, so that's TechnoTutor. And then, so TechnoTutor, what I remember Mitch one time saying, it's kind of like reprograms the hardware of your like system,
Hmm.
right? And then now the third tool that I think we're going to talk about is DIP, right?
Yeah, DIP.
Okay.
Probably,
So,
probably been for me personally equally as impactful as TechnoTutor. And I
yeah,
say this because, like, think about this: all day, all night, even when you're sleeping, your brain is running these programs, right? People don't know where their thoughts, emotions, feelings come from, but they come
like,
from those programs.
and those programs come from like past experience, your past experiences,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, just the
right?
way that the things you were taught, the things you observed, and all that. Your programming, that's where your thoughts and stuff come from. So, how can you change? This is a great question that I was asked when I first got into doing DIP. Mitch said, "Where do your thoughts and feelings come from?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know. They're just there. They're just there. I don't know the answer to that.
Because you don't even think about it.
You don't.
Like
You
you don't
don't
even,
think about that. You just think. You just have these
yeah,
thoughts all day. What is the number? I think it's like 40,000, 50,000
50,000 thoughts a
thoughts a
day.
day. I mean, that's a fucking lot of thoughts.
And to like not even like question like where they even come from,
Right.
even though like, it's crazy though because like people would justify like oh like it just comes like my thing was like oh it comes from the ethers and like it comes from like intuitive insights and all this stuff
All
and it's
that
just like
bullshit.
yeah
Let's
I
call
mean
it what
like
it
that
is.
video for another day but like but yeah like you don't even give a second thought really to us to like truly like because it's just funny though because it's like it makes sense when you actually like break it down. It's like well no like your thoughts come from the from how you built your basically your vocabulary from when you were a little kid,
Mm.
and based on the interactions that you had with people, your experiences, right? Which is why, like, you know, your like your thinking, or like those subconscious like thinking patterns that you have, like maybe I'm not good enough. It's like usually people can trace it back though to not feeling good enough when they were like a little kid or something, or
Mm.
like being scolded when, you know what I mean? Like it does, like people can trace that back, but people don't actually say like even think to like make the connection that it's like, no, no, like that's where your thoughts came from, was from that, from you growing up basically, and we're building those neural pathways in your brain.
Yeah, and DIP basically, the way that I would explain it, and this is just my understanding at a, I would say a novice level, just because I'm still working through daily writing with my feelings and emotions and stuff. I'm like going back and working on those. But it's basically a writing system where you write yourself free of your thoughts and feelings and emotions that arise. And through the writing, through self-forgiveness writing and writing in general with the prompts and with your buddy that you get assigned, you get to the root of where these thoughts are coming from. You learn what your thoughts even are, where they're coming from, why you have them, how to change them, how to address them, right? How to not allow them to control you, and you can start to implement what you think about instead of having them run automatically
Right.
like a computer program, because it's more or less what it is.
Right. No, exactly, exactly. And like it's just interesting because I have made this like distinction like between like emotions and feel, because they do kind of distinct between emotions and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they make emotions like being like more negative, and then feelings are more positive. Which is just funny because I remember having this like insight, or like this realization that, like, you know, like a lot of people like know about the law of attraction, right? And like everyone says like follow the feeling, right? But it's always follow the feeling up until the point you have like a negative, you know what I mean, up until it doesn't work out for you, or something doesn't work to your convenience, and then you're just like, like I'm just gonna sit back and like, you know, today's just not my day or whatever. Meanwhile, it's just like, well, you're never gonna get anywhere because you're literally now just like looping through those patterns of
Just letting your feelings run your life for you, make the decisions
right.
for you.
Exactly. And it was just cool to, because I'm like, well, this is why most people like don't even like like the law of attraction doesn't actually work for them, is because they literally let their emotions and feelings dictate the action that they take. Meanwhile, all success really comes from persistent action,
Mm.
right? Whether you feel in it or not,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what really distinguishes like someone who is successful and someone who's not. So it's just hilarious. Like I can think of myself so many times where like, you know, I'd be having a good day and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and then literally like the next day it's like, oh, I wasn't feeling it, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, today's just not my day, and I'm gonna sit back and like, you know, take a rest day, and then
Right.
never actually follow through or be consistent with anything, you know. So I never saw anything through to the end. And now it's like I'm now fully aware of like, damn, like I was really letting my emotions and feelings dictate everything in my life, and not in like a way that actually was serving me at all. But
Yeah.
then I was like trying to implement the law of attraction kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think that like kind of in a nutshell type of thing, writing with DIP will allow you to understand your feelings and emotions so that when you do wake up, you're like, man, I'm not feeling it today. You're able to say, you know what? That feeling, that emotion, it does not define me. It doesn't determine my action that I can take. I determine that. So instead of having days like that where you say, it's like, for example, like if, like I ate today, right? But I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, you know what, man, I don't, just don't feel like, I'm just not going to eat today. I'm just not going to eat. Like you wouldn't do that.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like for me, I drink a lot of water, right? You know that about me. I drink a lot of fucking water. Like I'm not gonna wake up one day and be like, I've got a lot of stuff to do today work wise. I'm just not gonna drink any water. I'll just like hold off on that.
Right.
Like you wouldn't do that. So why do you do it when it comes to like taking action about making a change, or like doing your TechnoTutor, or fucking doing your DIP writing? Like you know what I'm saying? So like it's important to get to the bottom of your feelings and emotions and thoughts so that you can change them to work in your favor.
Right.
And
No,
that's what DIP
exactly.
does.
Yeah. No, and just like I like this like whole idea of like self-forgiveness.
Oh,
Because at the same time, like, you know, you almost like people get like I've even caught myself like people get frustrated with their emotions and their feelings,
mm,
right? Like and it like and why they like for example like can't take action on something because they're just really not feeling it. But it's just like when you actually implement this self-forgiveness process, like I forgive myself for accepting and allowing myself to like even like feel these emotions. It's just like, well, you can that's another just step of you like letting go of like that shame or guilt or whatever that you hold on that you know what I mean, that's like stopping you from changing, which is also what I really like about this process. It's like actually allowing you to like let go and like create a new foundation within yourself of how to work with your emotions and feelings, but in a way that like is actually like productive,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that's pretty much right, hitting the nail right on the head. That's exactly it. So, yeah, good talk. That was good. I think we touched on everything that we had talked about we were going to touch on
Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as resources that we have access to that we can help you get access to. We can
Right.
show you how to get access to it. You know, if you're anything that we talked about, I mean, it doesn't matter. This is the best thing and the beauty of it, the broadness of it, is that it doesn't matter what the fuck you're going through or dealing with.
Right.
We have
Yeah.
we have an answer. It doesn't matter. This is the how, the what, irrelevant. The answer is here. TechnoTutor,
Right.
DIP, self forgiveness, and plugging into a community like Self Perfected that will support you through your journey of rewriting your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
It's like
it.
the ultimate personal development of it's like the person the I don't know, like the ultimate personal development and personal development.
And we didn't even talk about gin. We could talk about that some other time if you wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
Because
No, we
equally, I mean, it has great value as well. I mean,
we can talk we actually can like just lightly your wish is your command because that's what led us into this group actually.
yeah, straight up. We literally, if I remember
So
correctly, we
it's
randomly started listening to it.
so it's funny because I actually talked about this with Asif yesterday because he asked me like how I ended up in the group and
Yeah.
like I remember um so the Your Wish is Your Command, by the way, is like a pretty much a free audio by Kevin Trudeau that is like about 11-12 hour series, and it's how to make its premise is like how to make money, like how to
Right.
the money making
The correct explanation and the correct way to use the law of attraction.
right. And then so the way that we started listening to it again, because we both had that resource for a while and it
Mm-hmm.
was just like sitting in like our computers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the person who gave it to you reached out to you and said that they listened to this and got success out of it.
Yeah.
I think isn't that what kind of happened?
I had saw him on Facebook. I think that's what triggered it. I had like observed his success
Right.
and I knew that he had sent it to me, and one day, I don't know, I was working at Sam's Club of all places. And I was just
Right.
like, damn, like I need it because what I would do is I would walk around all day while I was at work and I would just have my headphones in listening to like fucking rap music or something. And
Right.
I was like, I
Right.
remember telling you, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something productive. Like I'm gonna use this time to like listen to an audiobook or something. So I got
Right.
on Audible and I'm scrolling and I have all these books about meditation and fucking astral projection and all these, I mean, cool, like whatever, it's all cool or whatever. But I was like, I have this audiobook on my Dropbox that I haven't listened to and I know I need to listen to it. I listened to it like halfway through, none of it resonated. I didn't retain any of the knowledge from it. None.
Same.
I just wasn't ready to hear it yet, I guess. And then for whatever reason, we hop on there and we listen to it. And I know that we kind of like corresponded back and forth, like we would talk about it and all this. And literally, but like, it was like magic. It was like Within a month, we both listened to it probably like 2 or 3 times through this audio series, I guess. And
Hmm.
within a month, we had been introduced to TechnoTutor, DIP. Well, it started with Self-Perfected. It started with
Yeah,
Self-Perfected through
you,
Jess
yeah, like Jin, just self-perfected. Yeah, yeah.
and all of that. And it was a matter of like a week, 2 weeks. We'll say a month, just to be safe. But the amount of things that can change very quickly in your life is it can happen very quickly. When you make
Right.
the decision, when you make this simple decision, it can happen really really quick.
Yeah. But anyways, that was like the number. I would say that was actually the number one resource
Your
that
wish is
led
your
to like
command.
all the things. Yeah.
Which
So
also,
that's actually
anybody watching, I have it. If you want it, I'll send it
yeah,
to you. Christine has it. She can send it to
yeah,
you. Whatever it is, like get with us, get in our DMs, or if you have my number, text me. Whatever it is, I'm literally more than happy to share it. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how much you think you don't need it. Open your
you're
mind up and be willing for expansion. And let me send it to you. Let her send it to you. It can literally
oh,
open you up to opportunity, and it'll happen fast.
right.
Especially if
Right.
you apply the principles that he talks about. And Jen, just to talk about Jen is just another community, another mastermind that Kevin, the guy that did Your Wish is Your Command, um, he's the one that created Jen, and it's just a collection of all of his,
Seminar.
seminars and masterminds with other people. And the information in there is just, I mean, like it's fucking crazy. I've only made
Yeah.
it through like a quarter of the way down through level one in Jen, and it's just like, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
every single time I put it on and listen to it. I mean, you can't imagine the amount of information that's on this in within this community. I mean, it's like I mean, like days, not even just hours. It's like days worth
Day.
of information about law of attraction and rewriting your DNA patterns and all, I mean, it's just if you're looking for the ultimate self help book. I know it's not a book; it's an audio series, and all of them are on audio. Like
But it's get you
this
started.
is not like this is not like you are a badass. You know what I'm saying? Or some fucking like the seven irrefutable laws of leadership written by Stephen Covey or whatever. Like it's I mean some I've read both of those books. Or I don't think it's I think it's the seven habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. I've read
Right.
them,
Right.
right? I read them and they didn't do shit for me.
Right.
I thought they were. I thought they were great, right? Oh, after I read, that was my biggest thing. I was like, after I read this book, I'll be able to manifest everything. Oh no, well, this one. I meant this book. After I read this book, I'll be able to manifest everything. Well, they don't teach you
Right.
the right way, so you're not going to be able to manifest anything. They might teach you how to manifest a little bit, but not fully. And that's what Kevin does, and that's what Kevin has made available to everybody through Jen and through Your Wish is Your Command is the ability to learn the truth about the law of attraction and practical ways to apply it.
Right. And can I add also that it's actually the formula that the elites get taught.
There you go.
Like the people that have the most money, this is the same info. So this is what's so cool about the Your Wish is Your Command. It's just like the thumbnail sketch of like to get you started on pretty much the exact training that someone who is of that wealth class, that elite class gets taught the exact same way that they get taught on how to manifest and how to make money and how to network. Like everything is pretty much that is your entryway into getting that same exact training and then being able to produce that for yourself, which is why it's actually called the money making secrets they don't want you to know
There you
about.
go. And do you want to listen to people that have the life and have the results to show for what they're teaching? Or would you rather listen to an author that makes their money solely on you buying their book and the information in their book is irrelevant? It's kind of a no-brainer. So those are the four big ones. Jen, TechnoTutor, DIP,
Self-perfected.
self-forgiveness.
I think
Self-perfected
we're
goes in with DIP, but then
well,
self-perfected obviously. Yeah.
right, right, right.
So let me redo that because I just fucked that up. Jen, Jen, self-perfected,
The group.
TechnoTutor, DIP,
Right.
the 4 best resources on earth for taking your life, and not just your life, but everybody's life on the fucking planet to the next level. That's what we're here for. And I've committed myself, I know you have too. I'm committed to doing this. I commit myself to doing what is best for all, and to doing everything that I am able to hi mom, doing everything I possibly can to see that out before I'm off this planet. So that's cool. I
Yeah.
guess we could wrap it up here, but
We're
those
here to
are
make
it.
this world a better place, bro. And we're here for it.
That's it. And we have ways that we can show you. So if you're interested in learning about any of them, literally, Jen, like I said, if you're interested in joining the Self Perfected group and getting involved with us, and even if you just want to talk about it and learn more about it, like hit me up, hit Christine up, um,
Yeah, we'll get
TechnoTutor
you.
DIP. We can help you with both of those as well. Whatever it is you need help with, we are here to help. That's what we have committed ourselves to doing. So with that being said, I don't have anything else to say. It's been cool. We're definitely gonna hop on here and do this again. This has been super smooth,
Yeah,
and
no,
it ran really well. And we've had a lot of people hop on here. I've seen a lot of people at the bottom of the screen hopping on and off, so it's been
both
really
our
cool
moms
seeing.
came through.
Oh,
Woo!
nice. Did your mom get on too?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And Drake's mom, Isabel, was on here.
Isabel,
So
yes. I saw some of my some
she's
of my
always
mom's friends
always
too.
supporting.
Leah and Julie. Yeah, very cool. It's been very cool. Chase has hopped on here, so definitely we'll
All
run
right.
this back again, but it's been fun. Um, Again, anything you guys need help with or have any questions, concerns, agreements, disagreements, no arguments though, because I'm not arguing with nobody. So hit us
No, we're
up.
here. Yeah. All right, bro.
Do it. What were you about to say? We're here for what? End us off
Well, no,
here.
we're not. No, no more arguing. Like, what good does that do anybody? Like,
Not at all. I'm not gonna argue about anything, but we can have discussions. I'm
we're
open
here
to
to
that.
help and support and, help our fellow humans, be better, be most effective. And I think that's what the main thing with all these resources is, like, how to be the most effective person and human that you can be, and also in a way that's actually like benefiting not just yourself but everyone around you. And that's just like
Absolutely.
the part.
And realizing that this world is completely fucked right now, and it's our responsibility
I shouldn't
to
laugh so
make
loud.
that change. It's our responsibility to change that, and that's what we're doing. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's been fun. Thanks everybody
yeah, bro.
for tuning in. Christine, thank you. I'll post this on my page. That way, if you didn't get to see the whole thing, you can hop on. We almost made it for about an hour. So
What?
yeah, I think we hopped on at like 6:10. And it's like almost 7. So
Damn. All right, it
ran
was
that
good, it was
shit.
good.
For sure, bro. All right, y'all have a great evening, afternoon. I don't know. I've got followers all over the world. So whatever time it is, have an awesome moment, and we'll see you guys later.
Peace, dude.
Peace.